Welcome to the latest info series detailing the historical account of the Neanderthals, a journey into the lives of our closest extinct relatives. New groundbreaking research and archaeological discoveries have allowed us to explore the world of the Neanderthals, shedding light on their sophisticated culture, advanced tool-making abilities, and their interactions with the environment and other hominids. Join us as we unravel the mysteries of their existence, from their origins in the heart of Eurasia, across the landscapes they roamed, to the details of their daily lives. This episode will challenge preconceived notions, highlight recent findings, and delve into the profound impact Neanderthal have had on the evolutionary story of humanity. Prepare to be transported back in time as we piece together the fascinating saga of the Neanderthals. In the shadowy recesses of our ancient past, a different kind of human walked the earth. They were the Neanderthals, our closest extinct human relatives, whose legacy is etched not only in the caves they once inhabited, but in the very fabric of our DNA. Today, we embark on a journey through time to uncover the history of the Neanderthals, exploring their origins, their lives, and the mysteries of their disappearance. The story of the Neanderthals begins over 400,000 years ago. Emerging from the lineage of Homo heidelbergensis, in the fluctuating climates of Ice Age Europe and Western Asia. Adapted to survive the harsh glacial environments, Neanderthals were robust, with a powerful build and a brain size comparable to ours. Neanderthals, who thrived in Eurasia from approximately 400,000 to 40,000 years ago, likely interacted with several other hominid species besides modern Homo sapiens. The evidence for these interactions comes from archaeological findings, genetic studies, and the geographical overlap of different groups during the same time periods. Here are some examples of other hominids with whom Neanderthals might have had interactions.
The Denisovans. The most compelling evidence of Neanderthal interaction with other hominids comes from genetic studies, particularly with the Denisovans, an Asian hominid group identified primarily through DNA extracted from fossils found in Denisova Cave in Siberia. Genetic analyses have shown that Neanderthals and Denisovans not only interbred but also shared a common ancestor before diverging from each other. Modern humans from certain regions, especially in Oceania and Asia, carry genetic material from both Neanderthals and Denisovans, indicating a complex web of interactions and interbreeding among these groups. Homo heidelbergensis is considered a common ancestor of both Neanderthals and modern humans living in Europe and possibly Africa from about 600,000 to around 200,000 years ago. While direct interaction between Neanderthals and Homo heidelbergensis is not documented through archaeological evidence, the evolutionary lineage suggests a period of coexistence or overlap before Neanderthals fully emerged as a distinct group. This overlap could imply some form of interaction or gradual transition between these populations. In some regions, particularly in Asia, there might have been geographical overlap between Neanderthals and late surviving populations of Homo erectus. While the evidence for direct interaction is sparse, the possibility exists, especially in areas like the Indonesian archipelago, where Homo erectus survived until as recently as 108,000 years ago. The presence of multiple hominid species in the same regions raises the possibility of encounters, though direct archaeological or genetic evidence of such interactions is lacking.
The clearest evidence for interactions between Neanderthals and other hominids comes from genetic studies, particularly in the case of Denisovans. The discovery of the Denisova hominins and the subsequent genetic analysis have revolutionized our understanding of prehistoric human interactions, revealing a complex pattern of migration, interaction, and interbreeding among multiple hominid species. This genetic legacy has implications for our understanding of human evolution, including the development of immune responses and adaptations to various environmental challenges. While the most substantial evidence of Neanderthal interactions with other hominids involves Denisovans and modern humans, the potential for encounters with other species like Homo heidelbergensis and Homo erectus exists based on chronological and geographical overlap. The nature of these interactions, whether competitive, neutral, or cooperative, remains a subject of ongoing research. As archaeological techniques and genetic analysis methods continue to advance, we may uncover more about the complex web of relationships among our ancient ancestors. Neanderthals were skilled hunters, adept at taking down large prey such as woolly mammoths and rhinoceroses. They crafted sophisticated stone tools and weapons, from sharp hand axes to delicate spear points, showcasing an understanding of their environment and materials. Evidence from sites like Bruniquel Cave in France suggests they built complex structures, even deep within caves, possibly for ritualistic purposes or communal gatherings. Their diet was rich and varied, relying heavily on meat but also including plants, seeds and nuts, as recent dental plaque analyses have revealed. But Neanderthals were not mere survivors. They were innovators, artists and caretakers. They buried their dead, perhaps indicating a belief in an afterlife, or simply a deep respect for their community members. The discovery of cave paintings and decorative objects points to a rich cultural life, challenging old stereotypes of the brutish caveman.
Neanderthals, once depicted as brutish and primitive, have been revealed through archaeological discoveries to be capable toolmakers, skilled hunters, and even artists with their own set of customs. Here are some examples that illustrate the sophistication of Neanderthals in these areas. Levallois technique. This sophisticated method involved preparing a stone core to remove flake tools with sharp edges. The technique allowed Neanderthals to maximize the usable edges from a single piece of stone, demonstrating foresight and planning. Mousterian tools. Named after the Le Moustier site in France, these tools are associated with Neanderthals and represent a variety of specialized tools, including scrapers, points, and knives, crafted for specific uses, such as butchering animals, working wood, and preparing hides. Hafted tools. Evidence suggests Neanderthals created composite tools by attaching wooden handles to stone blades using adhesives made from birch bark tar, showcasing an advanced level of technology and understanding of materials. Foods. Isotopic analysis of Neanderthal bones has shown a high reliance on meat, including large mammals like woolly mammoths, deer and bison. Sites like La Côte de Saint-Brelade in Jersey have yielded heaps of mammoth bones, suggesting organised hunting strategies. At sites like the Grotta dei Moscherini in Italy, Neanderthals were found to have exploited marine resources, including fish, seals, dolphins, and shellfish, indicating a diverse diet and adaptability to different environments. Dental plaque analyses have revealed the consumption of plant foods, including legumes and grains, some of which appear to have been cooked, suggesting the use of fire in food preparation. Art and customs. The discovery of cave paintings in Spain, attributed to Neanderthals, has challenged the notion that symbolic art was exclusive to Homo sapiens. These paintings include hand stencils and geometric patterns dated to at least 64,000 years ago, predating the arrival of modern humans in Europe. Neanderthals are known to have used personal ornaments such as eagle talons and marine shells, which were likely worn as jewellery. These items, found in sites like the Grotta di Fumane in Italy and the Cueva de los Aviones in Spain, suggest a capacity for symbolic thought and possibly social or cultural identity. There is evidence to suggest that Neanderthals practiced intentional burial of their dead, a behaviour considered to be a sign of complex cognitive abilities and possibly spiritual beliefs. Sites like La Chapelle aux Saints in France and Shanidar Cave in Iraq have yielded burials with indications that bodies were placed in pits, sometimes with grave goods or flowers. These examples collectively challenge outdated stereotypes of Neanderthals and highlight their ability to innovate, adapt, and express themselves in ways that were once thought to be uniquely human.
It is thought that around 40,000 to 60,000 years ago, modern Homo sapiens began migrating out of Africa, entering Neanderthal territories. The evidence of this encounter is written in our genes. Between 1% and 2% of the DNA of modern non-African humans comes from Neanderthals, a testament to our intertwined histories. The nature of their interactions remains a subject of fascination. Did they trade, interbreed, or compete, perhaps aggressively, for resources? The archaeological record hints at all these possibilities, painting a complex picture of coexistence and exchange. Despite their adaptability and resilience, Neanderthals began to disappear from the landscape around 40,000 years ago. The reasons behind their decline are multifaceted. Climate change, competition, and conflict with Homo sapiens, and perhaps even pandemics, could have played a role. Yet their extinction was not the end of their story, but a merging into the lineage of modern humans. Today, Neanderthal DNA can be traced within the populations of modern humans, depending on ethnicity and location, to those most geographically closest to where the two groups intertwined.
The amount of Neanderthal DNA in modern humans varies significantly among different populations, primarily due to the history of migration and mixing of human groups over tens of thousands of years. Individuals of European descent typically have Neanderthal DNA comprising about 1% to 2% of their genome. This relatively higher percentage is believed to be the result of early Homo sapiens mixing with Neanderthals as they migrated into Europe and Asia around 45,000 to 60,000 years ago. It is thought that the interactions likely occurred shortly after modern humans left Africa. Where they encountered and interbred with Neanderthals, they met along their migratory routes. Asian populations, including East Asians and Southeast Asians, tend to have similar or slightly higher levels of Neanderthal DNA compared to Europeans, generally in the range of 1.5% to 2.5%. This variation can be attributed to multiple waves of migration and possibly prolonged interaction with Neanderthals in certain regions. Additionally, some studies suggest that Denisovan DNA from another group of archaic humans contributes significantly to the genetic makeup of modern populations in Oceania and parts of Southeast Asia, highlighting a complex pattern of ancient human interbreeding. For a long time, it was thought that Neanderthal DNA was virtually absent in sub-Saharan African populations. This was under the assumption that Neanderthals and modern humans only interbred in Europe and Asia after modern humans left Africa. However, more recent studies have revised this view, showing that modern populations in Africa do have a small but detectable amount of Neanderthal DNA, typically less than 0.5%. This presence could be the result of back-migration of Homo sapiens from Eurasia into Africa, which introduced Neanderthal genes into African gene pools. Additionally, improved genomic techniques have made it possible to identify these smaller proportions of Neanderthal ancestry. The Neanderthal DNA present in modern humans is not just a relic of ancient history. It has been linked to various aspects of human biology and disease susceptibility. For instance, certain Neanderthal gene variants have been associated with immune system function, skin and hair characteristics, and even responses to diseases. However, the impact of these genetic contributions is complex and varies widely among individuals and populations. In conclusion, the distribution and impact of Neanderthal DNA in modern human populations underscore the intertwined nature of our evolutionary history. As genomic technologies and methodologies improve, our understanding of these ancient genetic legacies continues to evolve, offering deeper insights into the story of human origins and migrations.
The Neanderthals may have walked a separate path, but they were not so different from us. They loved, struggled, and survived in the face of immense challenges. As we piece together their story, we find reflections of our own humanity and a deeper connection to our ancient cousins. In the end, the Neanderthals live on, not just in the fragments of bone and stone, but within us, in the shared legacy of what it means to be human. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the past. The story of the Neanderthals is a chapter in the human story, a reminder of our shared origins and the enduring spirit of humanity.